This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I am here once again with Harold Langlois, who is joining us from Château Le Puy in the right bank of Bordeaux, up on a plateau above the right bank. Yes. So we were speaking earlier about the very traditional method of vinification, the very traditional blend in the vineyard, and your wines being incredibly traditional, but you have taken that one step further. And this actually blew my mind yesterday. Would you mind telling us the story of this particular wine?
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic story. It's a wine called Retour des Îles, and everything started by actually finding a piece of history within books, history of Bordeaux. When we kicked out the British from Bordeaux, you know, they used to rule the Aquitaine for a long time. It was happening 5 kilometers away from Château Le Puy. The first decision of the French king was to stop the British to get the wine in Bordeaux. So
just to really annoy them.
Yeah, just to really annoy them. But at that time, you know, the people who were the most annoyed were actually the British in London.
Oh yes,
because there was a huge market for the claret. And at that time, Bordeaux was growing a lot, and the French winemaker wanted also to sell the wine. So what happened? Instead of having the wine delivered to the British guy through sailing boats along the Atlantic coast of France, well, that was a French guy who carried the wine on trailers with horses up to the English Channel and then to London. They realized quickly that the quality of the wine was different. It was actually worse. We can easily imagine the difference between a wine nicely carried out on the sailing boats and the wine, you know, carried out on a trailer with the
going over bumps, cobbles, and
terrible.
Yeah.
So they complained about the quality of the wine. So at that time, and that's true story, most of the people don't know this, wine merchant from Bordeaux hired fishermen from La Rochelle to take barrels of Bordeaux on board of the ship to actually age the wine by doing circles on the Atlantic Ocean, to then deliver the wine to the British to satisfy their palate. How crazy is that? People don't know this. These wines were called back from the Indies. And a lot of Grand Cru, you can find some labels on Google where with this mention, the wines never see any island, any Caribbean, because the Indies at that time were the Caribbean. But, you know, it was an agency. So, when we heard about this story, we were intrigued because the whole purpose of Le Puy for us is to always offer you a pure expression, a more qualitative expression of our terroir. So we created a few cuvées, and when we heard about this story, we said, well, if it does improve the quality of the wine, why don't we try? And in 2013, we met some crazy Dutch people who's got a 19th century sailing boat, like a pirate ship.
Yes, yeah.
And they do reproduce exactly what the British used to do, crossing the Atlantic, getting the wine in Bordeaux, but also other goods in Cape Verde, in Brazil, in the Caribbean, to then going back to England and resell everything. And this is what we do today. So every year we have 4 barrels of this wine, actually, Barthélemy, that goes into this boat and travel for around 10 months.
10 months, wow.
10 months on sea.
So aged at sea.
Aged on sea. It's a nice life, huh?
To be a wine. Yes, yeah.
And actually, the British were right. The first time we did the experience with them, when we opened the barrel and we tasted the wine and we compare with the one that stay in the cellar, 2 different experiences.
Of course.
The day and the night, really. And the British are right. The traveling on sea improved the wine. And
the temperature variations as well, to some degree.
There's different impact, different elements. First one being, as you mentioned, the temperature, because when the boat is in Belém, near Brazil, the ocean is 26 degrees Celsius.
Yes, yeah.
But in the North Sea, when they go back to Netherlands, the temperature is 10 degrees. So the contrast of temperature does accelerate the aging of the wine.
And it would be very gradual as well, right? Because if they're sailing, yes.
You know, miles after miles, delicately. So the whole tannin structure is softened by this element. The other thing is the barrels is not racked, is not top up during the whole journey. So the wine live with these leaves. So the leaves are, you know, delicately
rocking back and forth. Yes,
yeah, and they integrated within the wine all along this journey. So the texture is different to the wine that was actually stirred.
And you were saying there was almost a saline quality to it as well.
Sorry?
You were saying there was almost a saline salt quality to it as well.
Yeah, when the barrels came back from the journey the first time, the barrels were white. So you could see the impact on salt, salt on the barrels. And when we tasted the first glasses of the first barrel the first time, you could feel a hint of saltiness in there. Really a hint of it. But there was also a hint of chocolate in the wine, because there was almond of chocolate on top of our barrel, and there was a kind of exchange between the
with
wood,
the porosity of the barrels. Yeah,
incredible. That didn't last. Funny enough, if you open the bottle right now, this chocolate
it's gone. It's
disappeared.
Excellent.
But the wine is completely different. If you compare the wine that stayed in the cellar and the one that took this little holiday on the sea, the fruit remain young, but the one that took the sea has got softened tannins, creamy texture, and a minerality that is emphasized.
Huh. Well, I do hope one day I have the opportunity to taste this wine, because it sounds absolutely fascinating.
Well, this is the moment to invite you to the property.
I will have to do that the next time I'm in France.
And we'll compare, you know, side by side, the cuvée that stay in the cellar and the cuvée in the sea. And you'll notice the difference.
I'll look forward to that. Harold, once again, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Bye for now.